Coming up,
getting growth is not that easy, especially for women. You need to learn so much.
When you learn from other women, you get to empower yourself.
The biggest obstacle you have in your life is you.
Right.
You have to believe in yourself. There will be an inner critic who will keep on telling you, this is not possible, this is not the normal way people do this.
Right.
Don't do this. So how to shut that inner critic and be confident in doing what you want to do.
Be willing to learn. Be willing to fail and embrace both. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Women for Excellence, where we're shooting from Bahari Palace Apartments. Excited for episode 4. I'm really excited, especially for this particular episode, because I have a podcaster with me. Ish. I feel so lucky because now we're able to have a conversation that is overflowing. Like now, every other conversation is usually great, but this one, I'm looking forward to it because now here we are having a conversation and asking each other questions. Like, it's been long since I've been put in this other seat. So, without further ado, let me introduce today's show. So, these are 2 podcasts in one space, 2 platforms, one powerful dialogue on growth, leadership, and what it really takes to thrive. I'm joined by a woman who doesn't just talk about business. She builds the systems that make it work. The founder and CEO of Interlink Solutions Limited, and the voice behind Unleash and Thrive podcast, where she challenges leaders to think deeper, lead smarter, and grow with intention. Today we have with us Reena Gore. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you so much for a wonderful introduction. I'm glad that exactly the way you said,
Yes.
it's good to be with another podcaster and let's see what we come up with.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here with us. Just a little bit of an introduction into who you are.
Sure. So I'm Reena Gore. I have been in Kenya for more than 20 years. So I am a Kenyan now. And I love to say that all the time because it's a wonderful country.
Yes.
I have worked on all senior finance roles for quite some time. I have worked as a CFO, group CFO, general manager. And then there was a time that I thought now it's time that I should not restrict myself to one organization and start something to build more than doing a job. So I work as a SME business coach and growth strategist, whereby I help small and medium-sized businesses with the systems, processes that are really required for them to grow. When you talk about investing, when you talk about getting that funding or the growth that they want to, the scalability that they want. So I help them build the basics, the foundation, so that when you grow, you're thriving.
Right. What got you out of, first of all, where was your origins? Where did you start off from before you got into what you're doing now?
Okay, so I have been working, as any other normal girl. I just knew that I have to be financially independent. That was my goal. Like since the time I was studying, I knew I want to be financially independent. I don't want to go and say that, I want to ask my husband or family to give me money for whatever I want to do. So that was very clear for me. But I was working as financial controller because I'm a chartered accountant by profession, not fully qualified, but I had to clear few papers, 3 papers, but I came to Kenya, got married. So I could not finish that time. But I have good experience with intermediate and final papers from CA. So that gave me a good foundation to start. But that was not something, the final outcome of it. I wanted to do job, and I think that has shaped me so well. One thing I like is I like to boast about it that after few years I have been changing my jobs. Because after some time you have learned everything about the organization, you have learned the processes, you know what to do, and you cannot be doing the same thing again and again every month.
True.
So I would change a job because getting growth is not that easy, especially for women. You need to learn so much. And that was one point, at one point I had got stuck in my career. I didn't know what to do.
Right.
Like I'm doing the finance controller role. for last 10 years and I'm not growing, and I felt, what is wrong with me?
Right.
Am I not that intelligent, or I don't have that Harvard degree? What
Right.
is it?
But
But
what did growth look like for you? What do you mean you weren't growing?
for me, at that point of time in my life, I was looking at a vertical growth
Okay.
in the organizations, like from a financial controller to a group controller.
Right.
More about positions. I
Right.
didn't understand the leadership aspect. I didn't understand the growth itself very well.
Okay.
Then I attended a program with Strathmore, Women in Leadership, and it has really changed my life. The way we look at business, the way we look at growth, what leadership really means,
Right.
it has given me a complete different aspect and a lot of learning. Then I decided to do John Maxwell's Academy. I joined Academy. I did a lot of courses from there, and it has made a leader that I always wanted to see. I wanted someone to be a mentor for me who will teach me.
Right.
But John Maxwell Academy has given me that foundation. You can do so much with yourself. So, the focus should be learning and looking at your inner growth.
Right.
And keep on doing things that people are not expecting you to do. So
Yes.
that's my way of looking at it.
I love how you look at learning. You're not looking at just the papers and sitting in class.
Yes.
You're learning from every other platform that you come across. And you're experiencing growth and knowledge from that. Because I've just started doing that. Even with the AIs, the Claudes. I attended a webinar just the other day for what we call Manus but Manas, for Meta.
It's one of the best platforms.
Yes.
I love that.
And
please note, we are not getting paid for that.
We're not getting paid, no endorsement whatsoever. Thank you. It's not an endorsement.
Yeah.
But I love, at the end of the day, when we do these platforms, we're also learning from each other because they're tools that we can use. Correct. And sometimes it can be intimidating, but it just takes for you to just sit and be interested in it.
Correct.
So speaking of interest, you said, okay, I'm not growing in this area. I'm going to go into my own space. How was that for you?
So, I had seen that to grow in an organization, one, you have to follow the rules. So following rules is something that hurts me.
Right.
Okay. It's not about rebellion or so, but you cannot keep on telling me always do this, because with my growth, with my knowledge, I know there are other 5 alternative solutions to the problem. But with the one specific organization, the management will have their own way, and they're not wrong.
Right.
Maybe they have been doing business in that way.
Right.
And they want to maintain that, the systems that they have brought up.
Right.
But for me, I wanted to do so much more. So why to restrict myself to one organization? Let me go out there, because there are other organizations, might not be that big, who are small ones, but who will where I will really see the impact. My systems are really help them grow. So why not to do that?
Right. And you came up with a system yourself.
Yeah.
The FPO.
Yes.
Give us a little bit of background into that.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yes.
So I have come up with a framework. I name it as FPO, whereby we align finance, people, and operations.
Right.
That is through my learning for all those 20 years that I have spent in organizations, and that is the benefit of changing so many jobs. One organization would manage their finances so well,
right,
but they will not look at their people.
Right.
The people are frustrated, too much work, toxic work culture. There will be one organization who are so good in managing operations, but they don't know the finance.
Right.
There are organizations who will manage people well, but they are not paid well. Maybe because the operations are not well.
Right.
So I have been looking at all this throughout my experience. And then I said, if I align all these 3
Right.
and teach the SMEs how to be, managing all the 3 at the same point of time, aligning it for your growth,
Right.
it will create a big impact, because African region is full of SMEs. 60 or 70% of the organizations fall under SME.
Right.
So I think we can do so much here.
When it comes to the SME sector, because a lot of people look towards corporate, they're looking towards those kind of systems, but then why are we not really tapping into the SMEs and MSMEs? And yet we know,
the real the real growth is there.
Exactly.
I just want to say that, I say that a lot of time in any of my talks or any other podcast, if it's my, I always try to say that the same point that, imagine this 60% of the organizations that are really struggling to grow.
Right.
You know why? Because there is a management gap. Someone starts a business, okay, and he knows the product. For example, a software company, he will know what to develop, what is required in the market. He has studied the market, everything. But it's a business finally. He or she doesn't know how to run a successful business.
Right.
And that's the management gap.
Right.
In schools, universities, you will teach, for example, even if it is sales. If you go to a sales diploma course, they will say, this is your customer, this is this is what sales means.
Right.
That is not what we need right now.
It's changing. It's evolving.
It's changing. We need to teach them, what is my customer looking out for?
Right.
How should I interact? How
Right.
should I create that rapport? How should I do the networking?
Right.
That is what you should talk about for
Right.
sales.
Right.
So that's the gap that I try to fill in.
Because it's not only the technical aspects of it, it's emotional as well. It's
Exactly.
very emotive
Kenyan country,
nowadays.
especially Kenya.
Yes.
You have to understand your target customer.
Yes.
Without that, you cannot do business.
It's the same thing with media. We've been talking about it for years, that if you do not evolve with the listening, because people are now about podcasts, about understanding about education.
Correct.
If you don't create that space where you're now reaching the target,
Right.
then you would remain in the same stagnant space.
Correct. Correct.
When it comes to now, allow me to switch a little bit.
Sure.
How have you managed to create a community around what you're doing? Because, of course, you needed to have the space to be able to make the switch. Your husband, was he supportive of the switch? Just to understand how you are managed to make a change from being in the corporate world so much to being in the space where now you say, I'm coaching, I'm doing this, I'm building that.
So to be honest, it was not easy. But I'm kind of experimental person.
Yes.
I tried that before as well.
Yeah.
So I had started a company which was into ERP. I am a SAP certified consultant as well.
Okay.
So that time it was SAP that was in much hype. And I started a company with an add-on solutions for the companies who have already implemented SAP, so that I help them with the same propaganda, that I help them to bring the efficiencies in your businesses.
Right.
And then the COVID hit. So maybe a wrong time, a wrong selection of so all capexes were closed. I was not getting project. I got 3-4, but it didn't really help me. I had left the job and I did this switch. So now I had learned my lesson that I would not stop. One thing with me is, if I want to do something, I will do it.
Right.
Okay, so now I had learned my lesson. I said, now this time I have to be more careful, more planned, more organized. So what I did in my last job when I joined, I just knew that this job I'm going to work for, say, 18 months to 24 months was my target.
Right.
I started building my network, joining all the network, whatever organizations or, the networking events that happen.
Yes.
Go and talk to people. Just because when you have to go into sales, into entrepreneurship, sales is something that you have to do. And
exactly.
I knew myself, coming from finance background, I'm not good at it.
Right.
Right. So I knew my weaknesses very well. So I started going to networking events, talk about it, slowly improve, and build over a period of 16 to 18 months, build something that will give me some ground to hold. When I do the switch, I have at least 1 or 2 clients with me.
Right.
Those ones were real organic clients, who knew me for being in Kenya for so long.
Yeah.
So they trusted me. They knew that, Reena can bring in some knowledge and some real improvement.
Right.
So I contacted them. I was fortunate also that I got those contracts. But the most important part here is not only leaving the job and switching, it's the whole process.
Right.
One thing that really helped me was my podcast.
Okay.
So I started because I wanted to improve my speaking and my communication. And what is the best way that you can invite a leader in one of the field? talk to them and understand from them, learn from them.
That's true.
Yeah. So I started the podcast with an intention for me to learn. And even I see the gap that, these things are really not talked about, the leadership, the
Right.
management tools. So why not to start something that will help so many others?
That's interesting. That's an interesting scope on it, because you're learning for free from an industry leader, but at the
Yes,
same time exposing that same knowledge to many.
many.
Ah,
And that helped me so much. That gave my husband confidence, because he by now he knows that I'm going to experiment something or
right,
other. So
right.
but this time he was not resistant. He said, because he also promotes on his WhatsApp and wherever
Yes,
my podcast, so people would ask him, and oh, your wife is doing really good.
right.
So now he was building the confidence as
Oh,
well.
wow. It must have been interesting for him to see you from a different lens.
Of course.
Literally a different lens.
He
Right.
has never seen me there. Now he is sometimes surprised. What all you do and how do you talk so much?
Right. So, like, when coming into combining both what you did professionally, but with the podcast, what do you think? Would you say was your biggest hurdle or challenge? Because you were taking on a lot. You're taking on learning. You're taking on podcasting. You're taking on your framework. You're taking on coaching. What did you say was your biggest hurdle, and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest hurdle was the mindset. Mindset that I will not be able to deliver this again because I have a failed project in my life before. Mindset that, what if I leave the job and you have the bills to pay? My kids are in university, so the fees to pay.
Right.
What if all this doesn't work, and what will happen to them? So overcoming, for me, I have always believed the biggest obstacle you have in your life is you.
Right.
You have to believe in yourself. I do a lot of meditation. I do a lot of self counseling. So that's why I have done my CBT coaching to understand myself.
Oh, nice.
There will be an inner critic who will keep on telling you this is not possible, this is not the normal way people do this,
Right.
don't do this. So how to shut that inner critic and be confident in doing what you want to do.
Right.
So believing in yourself, it was really very difficult. It was scary, but sometimes you just go ahead and do it and experiment it. And I had it was kind of calculated risk.
Right.
Yeah. So
because the only way you can truly learn is just by taking that first step, and that's what I always tell people. You cannot wait for, say, for the podcast.
Perfect moment.
Yes, you can't wait for the perfect studio with the this and the that to be able to get started. The thing is just to start, and then be intentional, and then be committed to what it is you're doing, because that's the only way you can truly move forward. And it's only that you also said you're writing a book.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So I have written another book when I was going
another book.
First book was I think 2 years ago. It's called How to Recharge and Restart Your Life.
Yes.
So there was a point in my life where I was going through different phases.
Yeah.
And I had to overcome that.
Yes.
And what is the best way than to journal it? So as I was journaling it, I thought, it's also good for me to publish it.
Right.
Not because I wanted it to be the bestseller, but it gives me a journey of how to write a book, how to approach it in a different way.
Yeah.
It's a lot of learning that happens in that process. So I wrote that book, and I should have brought it. I would have loved to give it to you. So
this is a first meeting. We shall have another.
Yeah. So it's called How to Recharge and Restart Your Life. It talks all about how to overcome your mindset and all that. But now, as I'm entering into a phase where I'm coaching businesses, so because I know that the scope is huge, here we have so many SMEs that need that knowledge, and I might not be really able to go and coach each and everyone. Right. So what is another best way to do it? To reach out to the mass is a book.
That's a good idea.
So this book is called Decoding Business Growth. It's all about my framework that I have developed, the FPO, and I have kept it very practical. Each section has a case study which you can relate, like any other shop, any other SME that's running a business. and you pick from there, you look for the solution is provided, and this is how you should deal with it. So I want each and every, like, as many SMEs as possible to reach, the book should reach them,
Right.
and they should be able to read it.
We usually begin the show with always asking our guests, what is your termination? How do you define leadership? Because everybody defines leadership differently.
Yeah.
But the other thing about looking at your profile, away from the definition, is that the fact that you've worked with CEOs in over 19 countries.
Yes.
In your experience, what's one workplace or leadership dynamic that people don't talk about, that every woman eventually faces?
Okay, for women specifically, I would say women have two basic things that they need to work on. One, speak. Speak about yourself, promote yourself. Lot of women think that I'm doing a good job,
Right.
and it will be seen, I'm a performer,
Yeah.
and I will be promoted. One, for promotion, it's not only your performance, it's a lot of things that goes around for a promotion.
Right.
So please make sure you put yourself out there.
Right.
Talk about it. If you are in a meeting, please talk. Don't fear whether my point is valid, not valid, they will like it. It's okay they don't like it, because you cannot be a good person all the time.
That's true.
Don't look for being that nice person, that, oh, I'm nice all the time.
Right.
You cannot do that. You have to become that bad person.
Right.
You have to put out your point there, because that might be beneficial for the business.
Exactly.
And your expertise is required.
Exactly.
So that two things. Don't become only a nice person, and please speak. I have seen this throughout. Like, women really struggle in these two areas.
That is very true, especially with how society defines us. That we should be speaking in a certain way, walking in a certain way, looking a certain way, so as to be defined as a woman first before even just being trying to be a leader altogether.
Correct.
But away from, because we have been a society that holds on to titles so much and make the titles the definition of success. And I think it has been a recurring theme for a lot of us who are speaking here in this podcast. What would you say is the hardest truth about career growth that not only women, but all of us should be prepared for?
Don't look for titles. There is a book from Robin Sharma, The Leader Who Had No Title.
Right.
And I loved, since the time I have read that book, the whole look, the perspective has changed.
Right.
Amazing book. Anyone should read that. Don't look for titles. See, right now, if you say, I have come out of a title of a CFO.
Right.
Right? Now there is no title.
Right.
Right? So I'm doing the job. I'm helping as a consultant. You can call me consultant. You can call me coach. You can call me anything.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
But what is the real work that I put in, and how SMEs are growing? What is the impact I'm creating? That matters to me.
Right.
So you should be clear. What are you looking for?
Right.
Don't look for titles. Titles will come and go.
Right.
Be yourself. Make sure you create an impact. Impact is the real word. Look for that impact, how you can create that.
Well, we have to take a break. And remember, we are here at Fahari Palace. And this is your one place for everything that you need to just be in comfort and have the best services, whether it is in the service apartments, whether it's in the bar and restaurant services, whether it's in security, you'll find it all here. We'll be back right after this. Are you looking for a comfortable stay in Westlands? Well, Bahari Palace Apartments is truly the place for you. These service apartments are perfect for business or leisure, for awesome restaurant and bar experiences, free Wi-Fi, housekeeping. Your standby generator is always on check, also CCTV and 24-hour security. Everything you need is all in one place. All you need to do is call 0717 551-305 or email faharipalaceapartments.com or accounts@faharipalaceapartments.com. You want the perfect place to stay? Book today. And we're back with Reena Gore here on Women for Excellence. It's been fantastic just chopping it up and sharing war stories, being an entrepreneur. And basically, we've been talking about not only getting into the business space, but how to navigate and to own your space as well, and just going beyond the positions, going beyond the titles. And we talked about the big switch coming from the workspace where, everything is linear and there's a lot of, managers you're passing through to now being the manager, being the boss, right? Reena, this is one thing that a lot of people are usually scared of, just taking that
big leap of faith.
Mhm.
So, before I answer that, I would like to switch it a bit because you yourself, you are a great person
Right.
who has defined her own space.
Right.
So just tell me about your journey. How did you even think of creating something so different, coming out in the media field, then starting your own channel? It's amazing something that you're doing.
Thank you. Well, this is, first of all, odd for me to be in this seat. Let's start there. But thank you for the switch up. So I started straight out of high school, was picked out of a crowd and was put in front of a camera. No work experience to begin with.
Okay.
So
and how was it? What was that feeling?
It was exciting. At the same time, very scary. So
did you fear camera?
I feared the camera, to be very honest.
Look at you now.
I didn't. Yeah, look at me now. Well,
people should learn from this. That you can be scary at one point of time, but you can be excellent at it.
100%. So when I got it with somebody else, and she was very bubbly, very exciting, and I cowered behind her. Remember the car I was talking about before?
Right.
Yes, I caught up behind her a lot. And how she's like 5 foot nothing and I'm here taller than her, like almost at 6 feet. So you can imagine how that looked. So guys were looking at me the hands of like, so why aren't you speaking? And she is. But I learned with time. With time. But it took me a long time. I won't lie. It took a lot of getting away from having to look down on because I was scared. I was an introvert and I looked down on myself a lot. And
the imposter syndrome.
There's a lot of imposter syndrome, but also, at a young age, there's a lot of people in your ear. So I would train my ear to listen to them instead of listening to, you say that you're talking about counseling and looking within and being your own critic.
Correct.
It took me a long time to get there. And still aspects of that creep in, but not as much as when I was younger. So being in that space, in the media space, you know how it is. It's, a merry-go-round where you're going from one station to the next. There is no real sustainability in that space, especially because of what it relies on, and that's ad sales. Right. So if your show is not doing well enough, or you're not getting in enough advertisers, or the station is struggling, you find a lot of redundancies as it is right now. So you're seeing it in big stations like BBC, CNN. It has been happening all across the world. Right. And it has been a big factor here. So, the more I saw it, the more I was just like, this is not the space for me. So I went back to school.
Okay.
And when I went back to school, my first now jump into entrepreneurship, I became a karaoke host.
Oh, really?
To pay my bills.
Yeah, you start somewhere.
Yes. So, but that taught me now how manage my money, but also be confident and start speaking to people. So people might be thinking, oh, karaoke host, oh, she was in this scene and that scene. No, it taught me how to specifically own a space and also demand what I needed for me to be able to meet the needs of the people who needed me there in that space.
Correct.
And it gave me the voice.
Right. How did you drill down to that specific niche,
Right.
We're creating a digital media, which is so unique.
Right.
And which is not people really dare to do that.
Right.
How did you drill down to that thing that this is what I want to do?
Well, just like you, it's just getting into the spaces that were presented to me. During COVID, this is where the digital space came in for me. I just gave birth. Because I also have a kids company called Kiddie Karaoke, which was doing really, really well.
Okay.
And
Okay.
our source of business was through marketing for that specific company. But now, getting into the digital space, everything has closed down. We were at the peak of it, and I went into depression. I didn't know what I was doing, actually, having a child as well. I also just got married. So all these things were happening to me.
So many things are happening
all at
the
once.
same time. Yeah.
So there's a friend who opened a digital station. I'd never heard about digital radio before. Unfortunately, they didn't last too long for the time I was there. They lasted less than a year, but then the space opened up.
Right.
So my husband stepped into the space. He was like, I want this space, because he wanted his own photography studio.
Okay.
So even when we started the radio, that was not the purpose. It was to do this, create space for people to podcast.
Correct.
And I was going to do my own, because I was doing a rock show. I was going to do my own show.
Okay.
But then people came in and were like, we need a space for us.
Okay.
Where there's no red tape, there's no payola, there's no people who we need to beg to be on radio.
Right.
And it's more community led. And that's how it started.
Amazing. So
Right.
you have also come out with a lot of learnings in your journey, is what I can say. So I think there is a pattern.
Yes.
One, there has to be a leap of faith.
Yes.
Take that leap, be courageous.
Right.
And second, keep on learning.
100%. In fact, I love the name of your podcast, Unlearn and Thrive, because even when we got into that, we got into a partnership.
Okay.
And sometimes also, the other thing we had to learn was partnerships can work, and just like a marriage, sometimes they can fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at that point, when we got into our partnership, we got into a partnership that looks attractive, but then we weren't ready for that marriage.
Right.
And when the breakup happened, it wasn't the prettiest. It wasn't the prettiest.
But I think what I believe is, when you fail,
yes,
you learn so much.
Yes.
Than a success.
Exactly. So we had to again now learn without having to have that crutch.
Correct.
Of having a partner. And we had to now go into the space, because the place where we were was stripped down completely.
Okay.
So we had to rebuild again. So even there was learning in the rebuilding.
Correct.
And then in relying on the partnership that we started with to begin with. That was just me and my husband.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's
Right.
one of a journey.
Yes.
I think you should share this one. Lot of women really need to know that if you have that courage and you take that first step.
Right.
You can achieve so much,
Yeah.
because no one is born perfect with all the knowledge.
Right.
Even Elon Musk or Bill Gates
Right.
started somewhere.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to wait for that perfect moment.
Right. And that's what I think has kept us going. What has kept us going was the bold steps, not being afraid to also fail.
Correct.
So
Correct.
that we could learn.
Correct.
So every situation I've looked at, even for the bad partnerships, I've not regretted.
Correct.
Because it was a learning phase
Correct.
for
That
me.
was required to
Yes.
become who you are today.
Yes, yes. And it was immeasurable, because now you cannot learn that in any class. You can't learn that from anybody else.
Correct. It's
I
like,
had to go through it.
yes, it's
Yes,
life.
exactly. So even going into the podcast space, it was a leap of faith for me as well.
Right.
Because I was so used
I was
to...
about to ask that.
Right.
How did you come up with the podcast, and that too at Women at Par for Excellence?
Right.
Wonderful theme itself.
Thank you. So it came from my show. I got the opportunity to host women who were doing anthology books. So women in leadership specifically.
Right.
And I was now dealing with women who are in banking and auditing, people I'd never really interact with, if I was not maybe in the event space, but now having to talk to them directly.
Right.
And I was learning so much. But then now the structure of radio was interrupting it all.
Right.
So I'm having the conversation, but there are ad breaks, there are music breaks, and it's just at the peak of just the perfect point. So the more I talked about it with my producer, who I'm with right now, Sylvie, the more we were like, okay, now we need to create a space where we are not being interrupted.
Correct.
And that's how the
because
podcast
needs that space, right?
Yes.
You can just talk about the real challenges, real things that matter.
Exactly, because we would have the conversation, would talk now from the technical part, and then now the women side opening up and telling their lives. So the women who came in and they're talking about their experiences with GBV, they're talking about their experiences with cancer. And that's now what moved me the most, because I'm like, they're here telling me their life stories.
Correct.
And then here I am putting in the commercial aspect of it.
Correct.
So like, that's what I wanted to break. I wanted to break that wall and now just be able to be free to have the conversation and let them be vulnerable, let them be honest without having to have any breaks.
Amazing. Yeah. That's one of kind of a journey that you have and something that you're creating. I'm really happy that, someone had to do that.
Yes.
And I'm happy I have met a person who is actually working on it.
Right. It's also freeing at some point.
Correct.
Because, when you learn from other women, you get to empower yourself.
Yeah, so much. That has helped me in my podcast.
Right.
I have listened to so many leaders, women leaders, their journeys, what they have gone through. And, you can relate, because I think at one point of time, every woman goes through something similar. The journeys are similar. So when you listen to someone who has overcome that, you say, oh, yes, maybe I can also do this.
Right. So let me ask you, when it came to your podcast, what led you into the conversation that you are in right now? Why did you decide that this is what I'm going to do in Unlearn and Thrive?
So there are one thing is clear that I always keep on talking about is the management gap. Okay, so I have worked in organizations where I see the people who are joining the workforce, they are so talented, they know their work so well. Maybe they don't know how to use the management tools that are available out there.
Right.
Okay, right now AI is exploding and there's a lot of information you can extract from AI. But like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was not the case. And I felt that, if you really train these people, they can do so much better.
Right.
I would see the senior management, we would complain, this person is not able to do XYZ task, or I'm not happy. But why is it not happy? Are you really drilling down to the root cause?
Right.
So I thought this would be a good way of sharing the information from the best leaders.
Right.
So they share the tips and it reaches to the mass.
Right.
Because podcast is available, like YouTube is available to everyone.
Right.
You can just plug in and learn from there.
That's true.
So learning is something I really am passionate about. And I want people to learn.
Right. So what was the most memorable episode for you?
For me, there were two. One was with Trophy Kiprono. She was talking about office politics.
Right.
And that is one area I think a lot of people get stuck,
Right.
what to do, what not to do, how to handle it.
Right.
And she just kept on focusing on self-growth and inner journey.
Right.
That was so good, self-awareness. And second one was on imposter syndrome with Dr. Faith Jury. She has written a book, one of the chapters in the book called Imposter Syndrome.
Right.
And it was so enlightening that, this is a common problem with all the women. She has a PhD. She has worked in US as a professor, as,
Right.
Even if she can go through it.
Right.
I mean, we are also normal human beings.
Right.
So if she can overcome, we can also overcome.
Now, one thing I think I would like to take an advantage of having another podcaster in the room. It's the setup and the imposter syndrome in setting up a podcast. Because let me tell you, when I started off season 1, I have a studio space.
Right.
I said, I can start this because I have this.
Right.
But the more I sat in there, I'm like, I'm missing this and I'm missing that. And I'm hosting these phenomenal women and I'm not doing justice by them.
Right.
Then I did what I've always relied on. I went into a partnership. And the partnership was good for me to learn from, but it wasn't the best in terms of now my own creative control.
Correct.
And it brought about a little bit of a shift in mindsets for all of us.
Correct.
And then I had to break away, and then now here I am again, but now with now an amazing venue partner.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize how hard it would be because I'm in the radio space and I was just like, we can set up this and this and this and we're good to go.
Yeah.
But it was a different thing when it came to the podcast. How has that been for you? What has it been the reality for you setting up a podcast?
So because I didn't had the good, journey or experience you had,
Right.
what I did was I contacted a studio who already do such podcast
Right.
recordings.
Right.
I went there with my guest, and they would do whole editing and everything for me.
Okay.
But the experience was not really good throughout. The way
Okay.
you have your learnings, I
Yes.
had mine.
Right.
I really wanted what you are saying, my own space where I can go. The team I know is exactly aligned with my
Right.
vision, what I want to do, how I want to treat my guests,
Right.
everything. And that became a kind of bumpy road for me, because the person, with whom I was dealing would abruptly either cancel the recording
Oh,
time,
no.
or my guest is already here and the other podcast is not finished.
Oh,
And
wow.
the guest would really go.
Right.
To maintain, first of all, get a guest when you're
Yes.
starting new
Yes.
is something difficult.
Right.
Right, a right guest. And then the person leaves. So, they would
No.
really call me and say, Reena, this is affecting your brand.
Right.
Don't do this.
Right.
Then I tried something with, setting up my own team. I got 1 or 2 photographers whom I knew. Even that one, the setup did not work because either the lights would go off or the recording quality was not good.
Right.
So finally, now I'm with a studio, but that studio is amazing. He does a great job, and
Right.
his space is also nice.
Yes.
He's committed, disciplined, just the way I wanted.
Right.
So yeah, it has been a learning lesson, but it's okay. You get there.
I'm glad to hear that you're having the same struggles. No, well, sorry for your struggles, but
no,
it's good
okay.
to know that I'm not alone. Because I'm relating with everything you're saying, because even like, you've done a fantastic job. You've done a fantastic podcast, and then you find the footage is lost.
I'm telling you, I have seen that. There is one recording even today I cannot do. In fact, I cannot publish them because the quality is so bad.
Oh gosh.
Now I have to apologize the guests.
Right. And how have you gotten over that slump? Because, giving up is so easy.
Yeah.
And you can, almost lose yourself to the point where you're just like, you don't want to do this anymore. Let me just go back to it. What has kept you going?
So, in India, doing chartered accountancy is, at least in those times when there were not really too many tuitions or digital media was not available, you would rely on books. And chartered accountancy has 1% or 2% of passing rate. So if 100 people are appearing for exam, only 1 or 2 people pass.
Right.
That difficult it is. So I was persistent enough to make sure that I cleared those exams.
Right.
I would not give up.
Right.
And that has trained my mind that, I cannot give up.
Right.
Because I have failed in one exam does not mean I have to leave that. I can give another attempt, try it again with better results. Now you learn where you went wrong, what was the missing part. You learn, you appear again, you clear the paper.
Right.
So that has helped me to be consistently not giving up.
Right. So when it comes to now you as Reena, how do you decompress? How do you let loose? What is your self-care?
My self-care is spending time with family. I make sure that I spend enough time with my family, with my kids. I need to know what the younger one, he is in year 9 now.
Right.
So I have to make sure I know what he's studying,
right,
where his marks are going. I spend time, a lot of coaching also to them. So sometimes they are like, Mama, just be our mama. Don't become a coach all the time.
Right.
So, but that's on a lighter note.
Right.
But I try to be with them as much because I at least want them to be good human beings.
Right.
That's my principle, that even if you don't succeed in your career, be a very good human being. You are helping your colleagues, do the right things in place. So that is one way. And second, what I like to do is something called mandala. I don't know you know it or not.
I've heard about it.
It's a art. So I do something called dot art.
Okay.
So with the using the paints, you make dots and it's healing for me.
Yeah.
Whenever I spend, like there's a board that if you're preparing it, if I sit, I don't get up. Like I would be doing it for 5 hours, 6 hours.
Right.
I finish the whole board and it's so healing because each and every dot you do, you're just concentrating on that one,
Right.
You're not thinking about anything else. So it's like meditation for me.
Amazing.
It helps me.
Now, I want to do a rapid fire as we close out.
But before that, I want to ask.
Right.
Sorry for that.
Go ahead. I love it.
I want tips from you.
Yeah.
for women at
Yes.
least 3 tips
Right.
that they can implement immediately in
Right.
their lives
Right.
so that they are ready for the growth.
Okay.
What is that mindset shift or whatever you would like to share from your journey and the growth that you have seen?
Right. First of all, just like you said, the mind, keep an open mind. Be willing to learn. Be willing to fail and embrace both the learning, the wins, the
I
failure.
like that.
Embrace it all. And the other thing I would say is learn self-care as well. Learn to take care of yourself. When I started off, I would always be like, whack, and I was burning out, and I didn't realize where I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and that's because I wasn't
taking care of yourself.
Yes, taking care of yourself, being willing to learn and learn, reflect, take a step back, and look at whatever it is that you're doing, and look at it from a lens from the outside.
Right.
So the mind is where it just controls everything. So once you're free here, everything else flows.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
The other one I would say is consistency. Consistency.
Perfect.
Without, first of all, taking the first leap of starting, and without being consistent, whether you are failing or you're doing well, and you're constantly in people's minds, put yourself out there, be willing to put yourself out there, then you're just doing something to be doing it.
Yep.
Not only be consistent, but put yourself out there as well.
Right.
Let people know. Let you be your biggest voice box.
Correct.
Because you're the only one who can really tell your story.
Exactly.
And make people believe in it, what it is that you're doing.
Correct.
So one thing that we, even as we're doing podcasts are praised for, is the fact that we're keeping at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you keep at it, the more people believe in whatever it is that you're doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Amazing. Great. Thanks. I think a lot of women will learn from that and they will definitely implement.
Thank you.
Should.
I love this conversation. I love this conversation. I love the fact that I'm being asked the questions. It feels so good. Also because I take a look back at my journey as well. It allows me to take a look back on my journey. So rapid fire. What is better for you, being liked or being respected?
Respected.
100%. Being liked is okay, but now if they don't respect you, they'll always be liking you, but making you the joke of everything.
Correct.
Structure versus flexibility in leadership.
I would say flexibility with structures because you cannot choose either, but you have to be flexible. You cannot say, in my times I have done leadership in this way, I will continue. No, you have to be flexible, but you have to be structured at the same time. That is
true. When it comes to taking risks, playing safe or being bold?
Okay, I am a bold risk player, but if I have to give an answer, a good optimum answer, it would be calculated risks.
Amazing. So for those who want to get your new book, give us details about that.
Yes, so the book launch is happening on 3rd of July.
Okay.
And then it will be available in Nuria bookstore and different other bookstores.
Okay.
And yes, we'll be publishing more. So please stick on to my channel. Keep looking out on my other social media.
Right.
We'll be sharing a lot of information there.
Right. Your podcast. Plug it.
Podcast.
Yes. Where can we find your podcast?
It's called Unleash and Thrive. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts.
Right.
So you can just look for the name and you'll see.
Amazing. Reena, thank you so much. This has been amazing, having one podcast to the other.
It was amazing. I enjoyed as well because your journey is also equally exciting.
Right.
And I'm happy I'm part of this.
Thank you. And we'll be doing a lot more together. So guys, look out for that. But for now, I gotta say, I gotta go. Thank you so much again to Fahari Palace for hosting us. Thank you to Reena for giving us your time, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
A big thank you to the crew, Sammy, Ronnie, Sylvie, Bob, for giving us also your time and expertise. And a big thank you to also our partners, Icon Radio, for showcasing this. So be sure to follow Women for Excellence on all platforms. Until then, we'll see you on the next episode.